And I have to wait till it turns. So it's so funny. Well, I'm not going to say, I always say the same thing. Hello, everybody. Before it's even started. Has it started? Are we starting? Yeah, it's off. Okay, great. We are going to do lymph and some mobility work, and I'll talk a bunch about fascia as usual. So let's start standing up and let's work with breath to start out. It's always great to start and end with breath, just as a sort of check-in of where are we in our bodies, and how, can we get that breath moving a little bit more? Inhale, reach out and up, and exhale, just feeling what you feel in your body. So right now, it's really interesting to notice that, like, I'm standing in the sunspot, and it's actually really warm under my foot where I'm standing on the place where the sun has been warming my mat. Inhale, lift, exhale down. So as you're in your morning breaths in these, or maybe it's the afternoon for you, as you're in these breaths of the beginning of moving together, feel what you feel in your body. Feel how your weight is distributing in your feet. Inhale, open, and exhale. Yeah, feeling this relationship from the center to the periphery, reaching out and up, reaching out and down. And let's just shake it a little bit on the next exhale. Inhale, lift, and bounce and shake. Letting go of tension and inviting your lymphatic system to start to flow more smoothly. Inhale, open, reach it out and up, and exhale, shake it out, shake it out. There's the big guy. Gaylord is much healthier. Inhale, open. Exhale. He had an antibiotic shot, and the blood work that he had done seemed to come back pretty clear. So there's nothing that we know that's horribly wrong with him other than stress of living with two little bratty kittens that have taken over the house and me. So, yeah. Anyway, as far as we can tell, that's the problem. All right, let me just shut some doors. We're going to spiral a little. So, twisting from side to side. There are many versions of this spiraling exercise where you could hit your shoulders, you could hit your chest, you could reach around the back and sort of hit towards, it sounds bad to say hit your kidneys, but just give them a nice tap. Or you could do it kind of up here on the top of your uh, glute minimus rotators. Yeah, just spiraling. Susan's coming in. Just gonna mute her. Yeah, just keep spiraling for a couple more breaths while I let the next person in. Oh, she's muted. All right. Hey, Susan.
Hey,
And then we're gonna change it. We're gonna like up and down. Like we're gonna have our sort of musical theater moment, shining the arms up to the stars and then spiraling and sort of wrapping around ourselves. Is this a musical theater moment? I don't know. For some reason, it is for me. It's like, oh, and then wrap. Or our modern dance movement, up and down. Here's that mobility I was talking about. Mobilizing. If you can kind of go up onto your tippy toes through the middle, try that. And then let that go and shake it out. And we're going to come in and do lymph. So rubbing your hands together, creating that energy, heat, awareness between your hands, feeling them. And we're going to take our right hand up into this upper left quadrant area, upper left just above your clavicle, where there's a whole bunch of lymph that is about to return into the blood flow. So this is the lymph coming back, and we want to clear the pathway so that the lymph coming in isn't blocked at all. Relax your neck, tongue, relax your jaw. Oh, you can turn your head a little bit. You can make some noise. And then switch it to the other side. I just watched this whole video about, I mean, there's so many things about humming and making noise about how good it is for you for so many reasons. So yeah, we've all been silenced, I think, just by existing and going to school and working jobs. Start to make more noise. Let your body know, yeah, it's okay. On the vibratory level inside, we're going to be shaking things loose and releasing stuff. But in this video, it's actually a woman. Maybe I'll put the link of it in the description below. Dr. I want to say her name is Van Dyken, but she talks a lot about nitric oxide and how important that is for us. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And so we can do different breath practices to get that. So we're going to go up behind the angle of the jaw. Relax your neck and tongue. Let it go. Maybe move your head, nod up and down. And then we're just going to do a little bit in the face. So I'm going to come in right next to my nose. There's like a little kind of indentation area. Gonna go in there. And I'm gonna move my face around, squishing it all up, getting some mobility in there. What does Dr. Perry Nicholson calls this? The toilet of the face. So like everything's flushing out through there. We don't want to block up the toilet of the face. I'm just getting it moving. Yeah. And then we're just gonna do a little circle under your cheekbones. This looks really good and sexy. This is the get that stuff moving a tissue of your face. We're only going to do those ones today. Shake out your hands. We're going to come into the armpit. Maybe move your face around a little bit. The holding pattern of your face. What's holding on in the holding pattern of your face? This is my right hand to my left side. I have issues with right and left. They never feel that different to me. So switch it to the other side. Armpit, pec. You can kind of grab on, get in there. Maybe you're going to get a little deltoid too. Yeah. My face feels really weird now since I did all that. But I find that I can clear up a lot of my sinus stuff by just squishing around in my face, like manually moving my face around. Can help unblock my nose, can help do a lot of things. So there's a lot of movement hacks and touch hacks that we can, it's a horrible word to say hacks, but hacks into, doing things that are going to be more healing for us. Okay, going down, let's just do a quick thymus thump. With some Tarzan noises. Okay. K27, those points down here. Here's the end of my clavicle. Boom, down. There's a little indentation getting in there. Maybe some humming with that. Generally, we want to inhale through our nose, but sometimes you want to add your mouth. Yummy. Delicious. All right, shake that out. We're going down below the ribs and into this big lymph node between the belly button and the xiphoid process in the middle. As I get in there, I'm getting the message, slow down. You're going too fast. So I'm just going to slow it down a little bit, which isn't that easy because I did have my coffee. Not to mention I tend to be very full of energy even without the coffee. Getting into that sternocleidomastoid area. Biggest lymph node in the body, and it's deep inside. Shake that out. Have a little bounce. We're going to go further into the inguinal fold here. Big lymph area in there. And we're just encouraging those lymph nodes to clear healthily so that stuff is coming in and stuff is going out and nothing's getting blocked up in there, right? No stagnation in the lymphatic system. And then the next place, behind the eye of your knee, right behind your knee in that little indentation or the fold, getting in there. And from here, let's bend our knees deeply and just shift from side to side. Just drop it down, let yourself go. Imagine whatever stress you have in your body is just pouring out of your head down into the floor. The earth is just going to assimilate whatever that tension and energy is, using it as compost. So just letting go, shifting from side to side, softening your spine, freeing up from your tail to your head. And then come in and roll it all the way up. And we're going to do one more thing. It's a hands-on thing. This little triangle down here, my sacroiliac, my sacrum is in. There's a big bunch of fascia all coming down into that. So I am going to, with my knuckles, get in there and just rub it around, giving it some hydration, giving it some mobility. So a lot of times when we have these really big bandy fascial sheaths that are coming down, which like here, it's all coming down towards the sacrum like that, vroom. We are going to have underneath that a different layer of much more mobile fascia that is, and we want those layers to be able to differentiate, right? We want to have some shear. If we don't have shear in the places where our body needs to differentiate, we can't move, right? So we need to have the pliancy, the agility, the mobility is coming from not just shear, it can also spiral, twist, like the things can stay together, but often it's the capacity of things to move with each other. If you think of like spaghetti, like this is a great analogy. If you think of spaghetti that you throw in, and then you've got like those that glob that didn't separate and it's all stuck together. That has not differentiated, right? We want the spaghetti to have water in between each spaghetti. So instead of getting that clump that gets all blocked up, when we hydrate tissue, it's like we're putting the water in between those spaghetti noodles that have stuck together. Pasta is always a good reference. All right, let's take it down to the floor. Actually, Gil has used some really funny models to sort of give us the idea of what's moving and how it's moving or what's not moving, often involving things like gelatin and spaghetti. So yeah, and that's kind of what the tissue is like in our body. The extracellular matrix is like kind of gelatinous but very coherent and organized. So it's not like if we stir up Jello and it all breaks apart. This stuff, if we kind of move it around, it's just reforming itself. All right, let's actually come down onto our backs. So coming all the way down. So we were working with that tissue here in our lower back. We're going to continue to work with that, just dropping the knees from side to side. So loose and easy knee drop, spiraling the lower part of our body and massaging through our glute and our hip as we roll across. So if I kind of arch my back just a little bit as I'm doing this, it's going to change where I am massaging through on my hips. If I tuck, it's going to do something else, right? So if I tuck, I can feel the tension in my abs and I can feel this part open up more. If I relax that tuck and give myself a slight arch, I'm going to be able to massage out the lower part of my butt and hips. I hope that makes sense. That sounds like it could be kind of confusing. So just to say, like a tuck would be this, and an arch would be that, right? This is an arch, this is a curl. Arch, curl. So we can play with it, and maybe you need it more archy, maybe you need it more curly. You can feel into it. I'm going to take this deeper, spiraling further. I'm really reaching out through my arms, and I get a big release through my space between my shoulder blades as I go deeper here. Like the floor on this side just really pushes in, and it feels really good. So yeah, I am using this movement, this mobilizing of the spine to really, not just the spine, mobilizing my body in this spiral to really get some space into my rhomboids, but into that place in the middle of my scapula. So for me, this is often a place where underneath here, I am collecting tension on both sides. So when I do that roll, it's getting right in there and creating more space. So that's one of the things that's happening in my body for that. Let's take it out of that twist into a heel rock. So I'm going to dig my heels into the floor. I'm going to try and relax my body as much as possible. So I'm sending a ripple of movement like a wave Up and down through my torso. If I'm gripping in my abdominals or in my butt, this is going to be difficult, or even in my quads or my wherever, ankles, calves. So see if you can just invite whatever gripping and tension you have to melt away. Invite some release. Let go. Soften. And again, we're massaging out that big part of fascia coming into the sacrum in that sacroiliac area. And then let's bend our knees and let's take our hands behind our head and we're just going to exhale up. Let's bring it all in and then feet down, open it up. So exhale, knees and elbows towards each other, coming into a ball. Inhale, open everything up and spread back on the floor. Exhale, inhale. So really basic, ideally very simple, very easy. Exhale, inhale, and one more. Exhale, inhale. All right, I'm going to come up. I'm going to keep my elbows a little wider, lift my legs off the floor, and just one touching the floor at a time. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm thinking about having a lot of space up here around my neck. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Both legs are going to touch down. I'm going to reach up, flex my feet, point, and touch. Up, flex, point, touch, 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 up, flex, point, touch. 3 more. 2. Last one. And relax. Shake it all out. So free it up again. Relax your head, neck, jaw, tongue. Relax your feet and ankles. Relax your hips and butt. And then free up the spine. We're going to do a theta breath with that. Big inhale through your nose and exhale, soft hiss. Softening, releasing. Mobilizing the spine, right? So we want freedom and energy. That theta breath, that soft spine release, is really the anti-spinal stenosis movement, right? We're creating more fluidity in the space in our nervous system around in our spinal cord, but also so that we're not calcifying in there. So let's do that 1 or 2 more times. Deep breath in. Free flow movements from your head to your tail. And radiating out. So we've got that head-tail connection going on, and then we're just letting the freedom of the movement ripple out into the rest of our body. All right, let's take our hands behind our head. Nice contralateral pattern, opposite arm to leg, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Relax for a second. Turn your head. Feel the relationship of your head connecting onto your neck. So there's a little joint, the axis and the atlas, where your head is plopped onto your spine. Just give it some freedom. You can make a ha sound. Letting that ha spread and widen, opening up. Shake and release. And let's open up into the shape of an X on the floor. We're going to take a heel rock here. See if you can soften your whole body. Where are you holding? Can you let it be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit easier? Bit by bit. We don't need to, open the floodgates entirely, but just a little bit at a time. And then we're going to go elbow to knee, coming up and sliding out into the X. So again, contralateral pattern. The heel rock was an upper versus lower pattern, a homologous pattern. And now we're doing contralateral pattern. Cross body. So when we shift through these patterns, the other pattern we haven't really done much of is the right side versus left side pattern. But we have done the upper, lower, and the contralateral. We'll get to right side versus left in a minute. Contralateral is really the most important one for us as adult humans. Heel rock again, and we're going to go in again, this time with a straight arm and straight leg, coming up and down, up and down, up and down, lengthening out, reaching long, long arm and leg, opening back up into the X, up, radiating out, up, out, up, out, up, out. So that was contralateral. Let's do this with a homolateral pattern. So your right side is going to come up, right arm and leg, and then go back out, and then your left side is going to come up and open out. Right side comes up and opens, left side comes up and opens. Alternating one side, homolateral movement, the other side. Now let's do it with an upper versus lower pattern. So we'll go upper first, arms go up, and then legs go up. Upper versus lower, homologous, arms go up, and then legs go up. One more time, arms up, legs up, shake it out. So those are like the most basic, large motor patterns that humans have. Rolling back and forth, rounding through your spine, massaging through your back. This is also an upper versus lower pattern. We could also say a lower versus upper pattern. And if we were looking at babies, this would be when the baby, usually on their stomach, is starting to kind of push-pull. And then let's do a side versus side. So upper versus lower. Now we're going to go rolling right to left. One side we can open through the middle or not, depending on how energetic we're feeling. So when we cycle through these patterns in our workout, we are also sort of toning both the fascia and the nervous system. Why both? Because the nervous system is routed through our fascia. We can't do something with one and not be affecting the other. Good. And then come in and let's do our leg circles, but let's do them in the reverse today. I almost always go up and out. This time we're going to go out to go up and then down. So reaching your legs down below you, circling out and up, and bring it down. If you feel like flexing and pointing anywhere in that, go for it. If you feel like taking your butt up off the floor, go for that too. It's really up to you. Work with this in a way that feels wise. Is it a good idea to do your hardest version every day? Probably not. Maybe sometimes you want to do something that is not the most intense version. Tension masks sensation. If we want to build our awareness, sometimes going smaller, going slower is going to give us more information. Let's put it this way, our brain will be able to take it in. All right, that's enough of those. Let's lower our feet down to the floor. We're going to have the variety pack, but first we'll just start with up and down. Let's go with our arms over our head. Deep inhale and then exhale. Pelvis up. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now we're going to change it. So take your hands down by your sides. The easier version, you can, let's do it this way. Easier version, you're going to lift, just drop a knee, lift, and lower. Lift, drop a knee, lift, and lower. Harder version, I'll show it on this side first. Lift. As you drop the knee, the elbow comes under. You can come onto your side. You can even lift that arm and leg off the floor. Put it back. Bring the pelvis back up and come down. So harder version, you go up. The elbow goes under as the knee goes. What are we doing here? This is a side versus side pattern. This is a homolateral pattern. Press and lower. Well, this would be an upper versus lower. Then we shift to a side versus side with some upper and lower in it. So we can mix and match our patterns. Up. This one, I really like if I'm going for the full version, the hard version, is at the end, once I get into this side stretch, to really arch my head back. One more time each side. Oh, and let me also say that I do feel this is more intense because I'm really pushing off the floor with my bottom arm. If I don't actively push the floor away and I'm kind of hunched in there, it's not going to feel as good. So we can use the bottom side to push. Bring it in. And like ultimately that would be developing our strength to do a shoulder stand on that side, right? We're getting in so that we could push all the way up, right? So that would be a more advanced version to come around to here, right? Same idea. We're getting the body knowledge in there. I'm wearing myself out. I'm not really, I'm kidding. I'm not wearing myself out. Let's go on to our sides. And we are going to take, hold on one second. We are going to take it onto our side all the way down. We'll do this really contralateral version, kind of mixing Pilates in with Bartenieff. So the idea is it's like kind of X rolling. One hand's going forward, the leg's going back, and then we're going to really shift. So in Pilates, we would be stabilizing our body. In this version, we're really getting that spiraling through our torso. Exhale and inhale, open. Use your breath. Taking it back, let's circle the leg in the back with pointed toes, reaching out, opening up the front of the hip flexor, and then flex your foot and circle it the other way. And then we're going to change the exercise. Actually, am I going to put my hand in my hand? No. Yes, no, maybe. No. Knee in and then reach away. And let's bend the bottom knee. As I'm progressing into what I want to do. In and out. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. This is the follow that star moment. You are reaching for the star with your hand, reaching for the stars. Not in a TV way, but in a connected, we call it spatial intent. You're reaching for something with intention, right? It's not just, oh, my arm's out there waving in space, but I'm reaching for the stars. Last one. And relax and roll over onto your back. And just stop there for a second and take a few deep breaths. Feel the difference between the two halves of your body, or feel what you feel. Just tune into what you feel. If we never listen in, we don't develop the relationship with ourselves or the wisdom. We have to give ourselves time to compute. Oh, what's going on in here? What does this feel like? Compute. Listen to, even our language is mechanical. So it's a more organic language. Feel what is growing inside of you. Feel what is where your awareness is in the movement in your body, or what's tired. All right, let's flip it over. Enough philosophical discussion. All right, on to the other side, starting with that forward, backward. So I'm at a slight pike here. I'm not with my legs straight down below, slight pike so that I can balance without falling over. Falling over when we're already on the floor, how do we do that? Inhale, open, exhale. Think about the lungs, that diaphragm, the organs, all getting this nice movement inside. Clearing away anything that's kind of stuck or sticky or blocked, letting the movement clear it away. So if you do this working out with me, probably a good idea to make sure that you are drinking enough water before and after. And take it into the back space. Make circles in the back, reaching with your foot, long leg, pointed toes. And then flex and change direction, go the other way. Good. And then release that. Just readjusting, coming onto your side. In. Reach for the stars. Ha. Reach for the cheese. Nice. And it's funny how we sometimes things are too saccharine and treacly and cheesy for me, and it really makes me want to cringe. And sometimes people go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being cheesy," and I'm like, "No, it's perfect. Be cheesy. I like it." So, fine line. Cheesy, reaching for the stars, having some real spatial intent, and oh, this is too stupid for me. I can't do it. Come onto your back. And again, feel into your body. See if you can free up your belly and your lower back and your glutes, right? Like belly dancing on the floor, shaking it out. Let it go. Soften and melt. And we're going to flip onto our bellies from there. It is a gorgeous day here, I have to say. I went for a walk this morning. I always wake up and I usually log what time I woke up and what the temperature outside is. And I try to wear not so much clothing. It's really good for our bodies to have to acclimate to temperature. So when I woke up this morning, it was 40 degrees outside. So I put on like a fleece, and I already had like a little pajama fleecy thing that I was wearing. And then I went outside, and it was actually like really warm. The sun is so warm right now. Random thoughts. Let's take it into a forearm plank. We're going to go parallel first, just touching down, knee to the floor, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Take your pelvis down, push forward and backwards. So here's a push-pull, upper versus lower pattern. Ha. As I'm pushing and pulling, I'm just going to sort of gently look up and look down. Not huge movement, but a little bit. And then we're going to look up and then lift your legs a little bit. And then drop the legs, drop your head round, roll it down through your spine, looking towards your pubic bone. Pubic bone drops, roll it through your spine, reach it out and up, lift, drop it down, look down, drop your head weight, let that ripple down through your spine. Pubic bone drops, movement ripples up through your spine. Head drops, upper versus lower pattern. Here we go. Pelvis drops, roll it up. Head drops, roll it down. Last one. And let's walk it back into a child's pose. Surrender into your child's pose. Big breathing into your body. Head, neck, jaw relaxed. And then shift your weight back, and we're going to come up. We're going to do another forearm plank exercise that's a little more advanced. If you need to make it easier, listen into your body and just make it easier. I can give you a couple options. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cross under, and then I'm going to step open, coming to a side plank, cross it back under, and into my forearm plank. I'm crossing into the side plank, bringing it back and down. You want to make it easier. Put your knee down. Bottom knee goes down. You still come to your side plank. Make it harder. Knee doesn't go down. So what's happening here is for our core, it's demanding these very different shifts through different, like we have a little twist. We come to the floor, little twist, sideways, right? Twist, facing the floor, twist, sideways. And we can really relate to gravity through this, right? The gravity is what's making this hard with our relationship in this elongated way. Good, last one. And relax, come up. Another thing I just saw on YouTube, which maybe I'll link in the bio, was a astrophysicist explaining what gravity is at 5 different levels. So the first level is like an elementary school kid, then I think like a teenager, and then like, I don't know, all the way up to like, a PhD level graduate person. I only got for the first couple of levels. Um, anyway, I don't know. I'm in love with gravity. It's so cool. Let's take ourselves into a regular plank. Drop your head, roll your butt up to the ceiling, and lower your heels. Lift your heels, roll it forward all the way. Find your plank. Drop your head, roll through your spine. Lift your butt up, lower your heels. Heels high, scoop it in, roll it forward, find your plank. Drop your head, push with your arms, roll it up to the ceiling, lower your heels, heels lift high, roll it forward, coming all the way into your plank. And we're going to do the same exercise from this plank. Actually, let's not do that. We're going to do a wrist thing and then we're going to do the exercise. So relax for a second, mobilize your wrists, feeling the fingertips through the wrist, through the elbow, through the shoulder, into the torso. We've got our pecs and our lats. We've got our collarbones and our scapula. All of that is supporting the movement of your hand. So we want to feel this connected relationship, hand into body. Then we're going to take it forward into our hands and knees and just rock your weight forward and then rock your weight back. Taking it forward and back. Pushing down into your hands and back. Now, if you have wrist and shoulder issues, you're going to take your hands a little further away, make this easier. If you're good, hands are going to go right underneath you. It'll be a little harder. We're going to push up and then come down. Then we're going to bend our elbows, either all the way down to the floor or just a little bit, whatever feels good to you. Press up, slowly lower, elbows to the floor, bring it back. Pressing up, shoulders wide, slowly lower, elbows to the floor, bring it back. Press it up, slowly lower, elbows either just bending or all the way down. One more, up, down, lower, and come in. And relax for a second. Figure eights with your hands, opening, serving all the sandwiches, and then smearing the peanut butter around the inside of the bowl. Maybe cake mix, cookie dough. Sorry, giving all sorts of images. Mud. Let's smash the mud around. And then take your hands, interlace, push forward, bring it in, arms over your head, palms forward, back of the hands forward, palms up, back of the hands up. And then kind of squeezing my fingers and pulling my hands away from each other. So if I let go, my hands would pop. Here, 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 right? We're requiring all of the tissue, all of the fascia to do all of this very three-dimensional movement. Now we're going to go to the the regular plank version of what we were doing from our forearm. So in the regular plank version, if you're making it easier, you put your knee down. Hello. And then you come back, knee down, open it up. In the harder version, you don't put the knee down. It's just the same exercise we did from forearms. One more time each side. And then come down and relax. We're going to do another wrist exercise, but this is going to be the sort of reverse. This is also going to have some spinal and some shoulder stuff going on. So I'm going to go over here. My fingers are pointing towards my knees. I'm over the back of my wrist. I'm going to round in, like my head turtling in, head into my spine. I'm going to squeeze my hands, making little monkey fists. Then I'm going to push and open, turtling in, lengthening my spine, rotating my shoulders, opening up, in and up, and last one, in and up. And then let's go up onto our knuckles. And let's just sink down and push through. Sinking and pushing, sinking and pushing, sinking and pushing. Now, knuckles again, but arms are facing out. We're sink and push, sink and push, sink and push, sink and push. And then one more time, palms are facing the front. Sink and push, sink and push, sink and push, sink and push, and relax. Figure eights. I think that most adults, and definitely most women adults, unless they're doing a lot of different weightlifting and different types of training, but even if you are, I think we really um, don't take care often of the small parts of our body, right? Our feet and our hands. Like there's so many things we could do. Let's just find fluidity through our arms. So it's like you have your wings and you're just giving them hydration and mobility. Or we could say like they're like flamenco dancer arms without, I mean, flamenco dancers are amazing, but let's take the sort of angstiness out of it's hard to, right? You want to get all huffy and puffy up there. Gotta love flamenco. I actually had a ballet teacher when I was in my teens who was from the Spanish National Ballet, and we did a bunch of flamenco dance with her. So fun. And I have to say, she had the most expressive hands. Different cultures have different like hand relationships with how they express and how they move. Western culture, like I don't know, Northern European, let's go with that. That's what I am. We don't do a whole lot. Like maybe we play the piano, but what's the relationship of our arms into our body? Can we tentacle them? Can we have like this octopus body where there's so much information and awareness in our arms, in our fingertips, in the palms of our hands? Just an idea. I feel like we would all benefit from that. Let's stand up. Let's stand up and do some other stuff. Other stuff, what will it be? Let's actually do some pliés. So let's go full on Western culture with some pliés in second position. So I'm going to open my feet wide. And I mean, in our bodies, there's room for all of it. We can do all of it. The more possibilities that we can engage in there, the healthier the tissue, right? Move often in diverse environments in diverse ways. So holding the space, knees over your toes. Make sure that you are not forcing your turnout. So you're not trying to go like a full 180. Feet are going to be wherever you can get your knees over your toes. We're going to go down, pulsing 1, 2. I'm holding the space in front of me. If you see me from the side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to take it a little deeper, and then I'm going to press back up to the top. Going down, pulsing 1, feeling the rotation, 2, 3. Butt is working, quads are working, 6, 7, 8. Take it a little deeper and press up. Taking it down, 1, 2. Imagine energy radiating out through your arms, 6, 7, 8. A little deeper and press it up. One more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Deeper, radiate out and come up. Parallel, you're going to actually turn in. So see how now I'm pigeon-toed? Go turned in and just bend one knee and then the other. So for me, I get a stretch up my peroneals, up my outer calf when I do this turn in. And then I bend my knees a little bit. Just feeling into that. Letting that tissue adjust to this different position in a non-stressful way. Breathing. And then bring it to parallel and roll it all the way up, coming all the way up to the top. So we did all that wrist stuff. We're going to do similar stuff for your feet. We're just going to bend the knees, straighten, tippy toes, and lower. Bend, straighten, up, and down, if possible. So the way that I'm doing this is this relevate. Well, we're in parallel, but it's a very dancery way. If I see people who haven't had dance training, they often go up like that. Try to come right into the middle so that as you go up, it's like the relationship knee, hips, through the middle maybe the first and second toe or that second toe place. That's where you want your balance. So you don't want your ankle popping out. You want to be coming in here. So bend, straighten, press, and lower. Bend, straighten, press, lower, bend, straighten. Try to keep your eyes straight out in front of you. So if you are on a device, don't be looking down at it. And plie, stretch, up, down. See the similarity of what we did with our hands? Bend, straighten. Now we're going to challenge ourselves a little bit more. And I'm actually going to hold on to the wall because I want to be working my strength, kind of working my balance, but I'm not pushing it. I could also hold on to the cat tower. So grab something. If you want to do this with nothing, feel free, but it's nice to have something to hold on to. And I'm going to be on one leg. I'm going to bend and straighten, straight up, woo, and down. Bend, stretch, push, lower, bend, stretch. This is parallel, up, down, bend, stretch. This left foot, my left foot and ankle, it's not my foot, it's my ankle, has some issues. So when I work it in this parallel way like this, I feel my muscles trying to do all sorts of cheats. 3 more, 2, last one. Good, and relax. We'll stretch them out both out in a minute. We're just going to do the other side first. So something to hold on to, bend, and I'm parallel stretch. I'm just doing it this way so I can hold on, down, plie, straighten, press up and down, bend your knee, straighten, up, down, plie, stretch, up, down, plie, stretch, up, down, plie, stretch, up, down. 3 more. Right leg is so much easier for me than my left. 2. Oh, nice creaky floor. Last one. And relax and shake it out. So we'll stretch that out. I'm going to use the wall. I'm going to reach back with my heel. Let me show you this way. So I'm here. I'm going to play with my pelvis kind of coming forward. Then I'm going to bend my back knee a little bit. So heel is really reaching down, and then I'm going to bend a little bit. Heel reaches down, soften and bend, feeling how the stretch changes as you go through the different places. Same thing on the other side. Reaching through your heel. Try not to be here. Get your pelvis forward, push down through your heel, and then bend your knee and stretch. Bend. Think of spreading out your toes. Bend and stretch and bend and stretch. My calves are saying, oh my God, thank you. We haven't done this in forever. Good. And come in. One final thing with the feet. This is going to be better on a hard floor than on padding. So I'm going to come onto the carpet. There's not a lot of padding under here. And I'm going to circle my knees, but I'm letting my feet really mobilize. So my feet are doing this. I'm rolling from edge to edge, like I'm rolling around the outer edge of each foot. So change direction. All of the adjustment for that circle should be coming from your hip socket and your foot. Your knees are just bending and straightening. Although it appears that your knees are making the circle, the movement for the circle is coming from the bones in your foot and ankle and your hip socket. And the ankle joint is not, it's not a ball and socket joint. It is, God, what is it called? I think it's a saddle joint in there, but it's all those bones and muscles of your feet that are allowing that circling. All right, let's come down to the floor and do a quick hip stretch and maybe a hamstring stretch, and then we'll be done. So coming down, I'm going to do regular old ankle to knee. You can do this laying down if you want to. You can do it with one leg. Like if you're really tight in your hamstrings and your hips are open, maybe this is the best way to do it. For me, my hamstrings are very open and my hips are very tight. So I'm going to go into here and hang out with that. Surrender. Surrender, Dorothy. Breathing into it. If you want to move a little bit, little teeny micro movement adjustments, or just feeling the rise and fall of your breath, all of that good stuff. See if there's anything extra you can let go of. Creating that internal space with the breath. Letting sound also come into your body. A little sound bath inside your body. Yummy. And then come up. We're going to stay in that position. Open the arms, stretching towards the top leg. And once you get there, you can look down toward the floor. You can open it up. And then take it down over that knee. Back in towards center. Over the other knee. And then side stretch on that side. And again, a little bit of movement if that feels good, or just be still. Either way. And inhale, open. And let's unscramble. Give it a little bang. Soften up all that stuff. So after you've been stretching or after you've been strengthening, you always want to come back to neutral in your muscles, in your tissue. So they're not either holding or gripping or overly released, right? We want to come back to a place where they can go either way again. More in the middle. Other side. Ankle over your knee. Either straighten the bottom leg or not. Taking it forward. Make noise. Hum. Yummy. Tell yourself, this is so delicious. Yum. I love it. Feeling your body sort of growing and shrinking with the breath. And then bringing it up, opening your arms out, side stretch toward the top leg. Once you get there, you can move a little bit if that feels good. So one of my friends, Michael Taft, who's a meditation teacher and been one of my best friends my whole life, is opening a meditation center with a couple of movement rooms also. And so I'm helping him build that program. So if anyone knows great teachers in the Bay Area who teach along the lines of really embodied awareness practice, somatics, anything in yoga, dance, any of that stuff, reach out to me. Let me know. I'm trying to build a program. Take it down to center. Yeah, the place is called the Alembic, and it's in East Bay in Berkeley. I think it's on 7th Street. And my friend has a channel on Take It Over the Other Knee, has a channel called, it's just his name, Michael Taft, but he does this, and his website is Deconstructing Yourself. He does all this non-dual meditation. And yeah, and I've been studying with him and sort of parallel pathing him from the movement side of things. Inhale, lift. Yeah, and following his work, and I've actually been very involved in his work in multiple different ways. Yeah, lots of transcribing. It's the sustaining way. It's how I afford to give classes for free. And that means that I'm barely making any money. So if you're out there and you can afford to help sustain this content, this work, please feel free to hook me up on PayPal or Patreon. Taking it forward and backward, knees forward and backward. One-time donations, sustaining donations, however you want to do it. I need it. Yeah. Pandemic wiped out most of my work. Let's bring it into not a downward dog, a forward fold, side to side, let it go. And at the same time, like my choice has been to really stick in my own path and roll it up and offer this kind of movement work to people all over the world. And I'm hearing back from people all over the world. So normally I feel like a lot of this work you'd only get if you belong to an expensive gym, or you were going on retreats, or you're in a master's program in movement studies. Not so much this exercise version of work, but the Laban stuff that I'm teaching and the deep dive somatic stuff. And I'm trying to really offer it for free so that it is equitable for all humans everywhere. If we're softer and gentler in our bodies, the world will be a better place. Inhale, open. And let's just spiral and twist. Breathing into it. Yeah. Inhale, one more big deep breath. And exhale. Shake it out. Let it go. All right, YouTube, I'm ending the stream. I think I actually had a few people in my live stream. So thank you for being there. Oops.